What's going on, everyone? This is Jags Central and I hope you're all doing well. Well, that was not a pretty game. In fact, it was downright ugly. But the Jaguars got the job done. That's the most important thing. Beating the Houston Texans 70-10. The Jags are now 2-1 on the season, and most importantly, they are 1-0 in the AFC South. This was the definition of winning ugly. The team played well, especially on defense, and on offense they didn't really play that well, but they found a way to win. And we're going to break this down on how the defense won this game and why the offense is still a major concern, and we look ahead to a massive test in week 4. But let's get into it. But before we get into the game, let's just talk about the big picture, because the story of this game is very, very clear. First, the defense is this team's identity. Plain and simple. The defense won this game. They were phenomenal. They forced 3 turnovers, and all of them in the red zone when it basically mattered the most. And that brings the total to 9 takeaways in just 3 weeks. So essentially, the defense is averaging 3 turnovers a week, which is an insane pace. They held the Texans in check all day, forcing 5 3-and-outs, and the unit is playing at elite level. Second, the offense, I definitely think, is still a huge concern. For the second week in a row, the offense just doesn't look like they're in a rhythm. The Texans this week, they just stacked the box, daring the Jags to pass, and completely shut off the run game in the first half. We had only 11 rushing yards at halftime, which is crazy to think. Trevor threw another interception. This one, I feel like it was inexcusable. Last week, one in the end zone, and this one, another one, which was inexcusable. The receivers were struggling mightily again, so many drops, and they made one huge play when it counted, but the overall performance was not good enough from the offense. And third, I have to say it again, and this is for the 3rd week in a row, the penalties are killing us. Like, after 11 penalties in week 1, a sloppy game in week 2, they had 9 more yesterday for 70 yards. We're still seeing illegal shifts, false starts, costly unnecessary roughness calls, but they got away with it today because the Texans are 0-3 now, but I don't think we're going to get away with it against the 49ers next week, because the 49ers don't need much, and you've seen that over the last few weeks. But yeah, let's just forget about the 49ers for now. We'll talk about them towards the end. But let's just kind of go into the flow of the game. The first quarter was just basically a pump fest. The Texans missed a field goal from about 48 yards, I think it was. The Jags offense put together a good drive, and it was helped by a PI call in the end zone, and then Bishal too, and punched it in from the 1-yard line, gave us a 7-0 lead. That's the 3rd game in a row now that the Jags have started with the lead, which is great to see. The second quarter, complete nightmare for the offense. 3-and-out after 3-and-out after 3-and-out. The run game was going nowhere. The passing game was ineffective. The defense bent a little, letting Houston get a long drive, but they stood tall in the red zone and held them to a field goal. We went up into the halftime 7-3, but it felt like the offense had absolutely done nothing. In the 3rd quarter, this is where the offense kind of showed a bit of life. We managed to get a field goal to extend the lead to 10-3. The defense came right back out, forced another 3-and-out, but just as it felt like we might start to pull away, Cam Little missed a field goal, which is crazy because it was only from 47 yards out, and he's got a big leg, and usually he makes anything under 50. It should be like pretty easy for him, but I was surprised that he missed it there. Could have gone up 13-10, made it a 2-score game, and then the 4th quarter was just when the chaos started. The defense started off with a red zone interception by Jordan Lewis, but on the very next drive, Trevor Lawrence gives it right back with a horrible interception in double coverage, which is crazy to think, because we've literally just got a turnover. Last week, the thing I was talking about is that we need to turn our turnovers into points. And what do? We give them the ball back. And what do the Houston Texans do? They get the interception and they turn it into a touchdown. And that is what I've been talking about this season and last season, where we have to be turning turnovers into points. Because if you lose a turnover to points battle, you're never going to win a lot of games. So now it's a tie game. It's 10-10, and the momentum for me has just swung over to the Texans, and it's kind of given me flashbacks to last season where we lost 2 close games to the Texans, and mainly it was because of the way we ended the game, and it's just the chaos that ensued for us, and we lost those 2 games against the Texans. The offense fails on fourth down, and now it just feels like the game is slipping away. But the defense, they put their cape on. Tyson Campbell, after giving up a touchdown, redeems himself by forcing a forced fumble on the same receiver, Nico Collins, in the red zone. Devin Lloyd recovers it, and with the game on the line, Trevor finally connects with Brian Thomas Jr. for a huge 46-yard play, and Travis Etienne scores the game-winning touchdown to seal it. And then right at the end, Josh Hines Allen tips a pass on the final drive that leads to a game-ending interception. What a wild finish, but at least that wild finish was for the Jaguars. So this win leaves me with some serious questions moving forward though. Number one, how will the offense respond when the team stack the box? The Texans just gave the blueprint to everyone. They just said, sell out to stop the run and make Trevor and his receivers beat you. For 3.5 quarters, it worked. The offense has to find a way to make teams pay for that strategy, because next week we're playing a serious defense in the 49ers, and they're definitely going to stack the box and make us beat them with Robert Saleh as the defensive coordinator. Number two, what is going on with Brian Thomas Jr.? Like, this is the second week we're speaking about him. He had more drops and was even taken off the field on key third downs again. He had a massive 46-yard catch at the end to save the game, and that's what we need from him, but on a consistent basis. And currently, like he had 6 drops and six catches, which is a massive problem for your wide receiver one. And the third question I'm going to ask is, can this team play a clean game? 9 more penalties. This is not a fluke, it's a trend, and definitely it's a lack of discipline that's going to eventually cost us a game, which definitely cost us a game last week, and then it's probably going to cost us later down in the line as well. This is something I also spoke about during last season's poor seasons, that discipline was a huge thing, that why we lost a lot of close games. But let's just be positive that we escaped with the win. We moved to 2-1, but now we're probably going to face our toughest test of the season by far. We travel to the West Coast to take on the San Francisco 49ers, who are 3-0. The team's definitely a juggernaut, even with the injuries that they have on offense. But this is a team that has Brock Purdy out for the game, and the Jags are going to be facing their backup, Mac Jones. But this is kind of, for me, a fascinating matchup because our defense has been elite. We've been a ball hawk. We've been getting interceptions. We get to go up against a backup quarterback, and this is a huge opportunity for Josh Allen, Trayvon Walker, and the secondary to make a game-changing impact and win the game for us again. But on the flip side, the 49ers defense is just one of the best in the league, and their running game with Christian McCaffrey has just basically been unstoppable. Like, he is literally their bell cow. He wins games for them by himself, and it's definitely going to be an ultimate test for our inconsistent offense and our run defense as well. It's basically like our biggest strength against their biggest question mark, and then their biggest strength against our biggest weakness. So this is going to be quite a big battle. So hopefully that our offense can be consistent next week and finally turn it on. So that's my breakdown of a ugly but important win over a division rival. Are you guys happy with the win, no matter how it looks? Or are you worried about the offense? Let me know down in the comments. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to smash that like button. Subscribe to Jags Central for breakdowns all season long. And the other thing is, if you can, just leave a comment. Just helps with the algorithm and gets other Jags fans to see the context as well. And I'll see you guys for the 49ers game.